Hello. Well, you see that lately we are having a lot of changes on LLMs from Gemini, Claude, and stuff like that. So I was thinking someone from my Discord talked to me and suggested, why don't you use a local LLM? And it could be maybe as good as Gemini or Claude. So I started digging and came to a conclusion and made some codes that could be easier also for you to get something working on your machine. For example, I have 24 gigabytes of VRAM and works well with a number of models. But what if you don't have a GPU or you have a smallest PC? Could it work? Well, I tested with an old notebook, like maybe 8 years old or more, with an i5, Intel i5, and an old GPU, like integrated GPU, and even using the CPU. Actually, for this old notebook, looks like the CPU worked faster than the GPU, and it worked well. I was testing with this Ornith 1.0, and it looks pretty interesting. So if you, I'm gonna put the link to this model on the post on my Patreon. You can see a lot of types that you can download, and if you have a CPU, if you don't have much power on your GPU and maybe not that much memory, if you have about 16 gigabytes of RAM, you're able to run this kind of model, this 9B GGUF. It won't be fast, but it can work. Okay, what do you have to do? I made a package called LLM Portable 01. You have to unpack it, and you got this folder and these files. What you have to do is to get the GGUF that you want to use. I suggest Ornith, and put inside this folder. You see now it's empty, and when you want to run it, you just have to double click this start, this bat file, and you have, in this case I don't have any models, so it won't work. But I already downloaded this 9B GGUF. I use this smallest one, K4KM. Just press here and it shows a button for you to download. I won't download because I already done it. Cancel. So let me get from here to model folder. And now it can run. Double click. I just have one model, so it's one. Okay, if you don't have a GPU, you will have to use the CPU version. Just press 1. In this case, I have a GPU, so I'm going to use the Vulkan 2. The default port is this one. If you want to change for some other that works better for you, but just press enter and it's fine. And the cool thing that I did is not only made executable where you can make it easier to use the Llama CPP, but also you can use OpenCode. But I'm going to show you in parts. In this case, I won't launch OpenCode now, so no. And what it will do is it will load the Llama UI, but you have to wait for it to finish, and now you can see the result. In this case, I'm gonna close this, and you see it's already showing the Ornith 1 9B, and you can ask anything like, who are you? And if you want to see how it's going, you can leave this console open. Actually, you can't close it or else the local LLM will stop working. But you can see the progress here. In my case, it's about 64 tokens per second, but I'm using a GPU here and a fast one. On my old notebook, it was about 2 tokens per second, so it's not that fast. But if you don't have a better version, if you don't have a better way to use, if you don't want to pay, well, 2 tokens might be good enough. And on this web UI, you can see the reasoning. There's a lot of options that you can use. You can change the reasoning. Default is medium. You can put it off, and you have the result here, the time it took and the amounts of tokens per second. And you can ask to, okay, can you make a Python Blender add-on? Oops, Blender. Yeah, you can. You just have to describe and it will make the code. But if you want to make the code, it's better to use the open code one. So let me close this. Let me close this. So for example, if you want to create a Blender add-on, you can use open code. You double click on the start, choose the model. In my case, it's 1. And I'm gonna use GPU since I have one. The default part is cool. Yes, open, launch open code, and I'm gonna select where I want it to work. So I'm gonna put on this folder that is empty. I'll have to wait for the LLM to load. Now it's loaded and I can start asking to code for me. For example, make a Blender add-on to generate cubes. And that's it. Here is your add-on done. I think won't be able to test it, but you can do it yourself on your PC. So if you don't want to spend money with tokens or can't, and you have a nice PC, you can use this solution. And as always, don't trust everything that it does. Try to review it. Don't make, for example, add-ons and just rush it out. Review it. It's important. And you will also learn. You can learn a lot with this. You can also ask for it to explain to you what some code is doing. It's also a way to learn. So, hope you enjoyed it. Hope it helps. And bye bye.